Hi guys, it's B Talks Life, and today I'm going to be discussing if the Disney College program was worth it. So, if I was to say whether or not the Disney College program was worth it, let me discuss what it was like. I drove there and I took my car, which I definitely would recommend if you have that option. It made it a lot easier to do like different things and not have to rely on the buses as much, though I did use the buses as well. There was a hurricane down there when I was down there, and I had to get to work one day. It was like the day before we shut down the park, and I took the buses just to be safe since they have driven in that weather more. So I definitely recommend bringing your car if you can. And when it came to the experience itself, when I came in and got checked in, it was really nice. Unpacking and decorating the room, that was great. And then those 3-day park hopper tickets we got before we got our self-admission, that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun going to the parks and just kind of like getting acquainted to Flamingo, and I was at East. And just like getting used to everything and getting to explore the parks. My family came down with me, so I got to spend a few days with them at the parks, and we got to try out Guardians for the first time, Tron. We hadn't been there in a few years, so it was really, really nice to get to do that with them before I was down there on my own. I went down at the end of May, and I left mid-January. And Traditions was a wonderful experience, and I got merchandise at Creations, Club Cool, Test Track, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Mission Space. AKA the Semporium, Treasures of Xandar, and the Cargo Bay. And I loved it. My role was officially World Discovery, but I was basically all of those 5 shops. I only got to work at Test Track a few times before it got shut down for renovations for a while, but I liked working there too. It was actually the first location I worked at after I got done with my on-the-job training. And I loved every second of it. Everyone, like all the leaders and coordinators and everything and the trainers at World Discovery and Creations are wonderful. I loved every single store I was at. I loved the variety. I was trained to be a cashier, a stalker, even got to just interact with guests, got to do mobile checkout, lots of things. It was an absolutely wonderful experience. And there are so many like wonderful guest stories, and it was also like my first job outside of college. Or I've did internships, but I never did like an actual like job because we did get paid. I got paid $16 an hour, and before I left in January, it got up to $17 an hour. So I left at the wrong time, clearly. No, but I lived in a 2x2 as well, so around, I can't remember how much came out, but the rent did go up with the pay increase. I think it was $202 originally, and it was like $230 something when I was leaving, but the pay did go up as well. So, but I was able to live off of everything, including the rent, as well as like getting gas for my car, paying for groceries. I was able to manage it all. Also, I love taking advantage of the cast discount. Not long after I got there, there was a 50% discount for, no, I can't remember if it was 50 or 40, but it was, they were both at one point, at different points during my program. I got 50% one time and a 40% another time, and I got myself a Pandora bracelet. Oh, let me go show you. Hold on, I'll be right back. Also, in the meantime, this is this lovely shirt my mom got me because I did work at the Guardians ride. It's one she got off of Amazon. It's people of Epcot, Epcoters, Epcotians, citizens of Epcot, Epcot-Terrans. And it's got like a little mixtape on it. I love this shirt. It's like such a nice like little memento of the program. Let me go grab my Pandora bracelet. Okay, so I was really lucky that it was on sale, or that we got the cast discounts. I got these charms at the Creations Pandora section, as well as Port of Entry, which is near the World Showcase as you like enter it. So I have Scarlet Witch, I have Anna and Elsa on a sled, I have the Rose Gold Castle, of course. I have the Epcot charm. It has the Epcot ball on one side and then like the symbol on the other side. And then I have Stitch. Each of these charms were chosen for a reason. So of course I had to get the Epcot one because that was my home park. I got Anna and Elsa because when I got my Earning My Ears tag removed, the little red tag we have on it.
So do you want me to count down? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. And I relate to her so much. And she learned to not be afraid and to be who she was. And I just found that really inspiring. Of course, I had to get the castle because I feel like that's what you think of when you think of Disney. And also, it's beautiful. I love the rose gold. I got Scarlet Witch because she's my favorite Marvel character. The Stitch charm is because not long after I got there, we did a few annual pass holder giveaway events they came and picked it up there. And one of the first things I did when I got there was hand out the Stitch annual pass holder magnet. And that's why I chose to get Stitch on here. Because that was like one of like the biggest experiences that one of the most memorable first experiences. I got to hand out a few others. I can't remember, maybe it was just one other. I know we got to hand out the recipe card completer for the holiday celebration. That was really cool too. I remember there was like a Pumbaa and Timon magnet, or maybe it was just Pumbaa. And that was handed out at one of the shops in Animal Kingdom. And I actually did go there and pick it up with my grandma because she got an annual pass while I was down there. So, because my family came and visited me a few times, which I loved. I missed them so much. And it was so nice getting to like be there and then go to the parks and just show my family around when they came back and be able to, everything was just so wonderful. One of my favorite places to go, I would just stop by just to eat sometimes there, was Sci-Fi Diner, and I would get the barbecue burger, like plain, besides the bacon jam. I love the bacon jam. So I got like the barbecue, bacon jam, and then just like the bun. And it was the most wonderful snack. I mean, not snack, it was like a meal, but it was so good. Even now, I still crave it, and I'm just like, oh, I can't just hop in my car, drive 15 minutes, and be in there. And it's just like, no. Oh, another, if you do go, which I definitely recommend you should go here. The confectionery in Magic Kingdom, they have you can make your own like custom popcorn bowl. You get to choose your popcorn type, a chocolate drizzle, and then like candy toppings like marshmallows and stuff. The combination I chose was butter popcorn, milk chocolate, regular M&Ms, and peanut butter M&Ms. It was so good. I got it so many times. Actually, one of the first days I went there, I saw someone snacking on it while we were waiting for the bus to take us back to Flamingo, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Where did you get it? And she told me, and I made sure to go get it the next time I was in Magic Kingdom, and I was not disappointed. That is one of the most wonderful snacks. I am so glad I got it. I got it multiple times. I loved it. Yeah, I mean, and then just like the guests, like it's a completely different vibe at Disney. I feel like compared to like anywhere else, it was just, every day was just magic. Like, sure, there were hard times or when it got really busy and stuff, but it was just like, we knew that we were doing our best and we were trying to get guests through in an efficient manner while also making sure like everything was the way it should be and was quality for the guest. And also something I really appreciated, if something was wrong, it would be made right. And that is just so admirable to me, is like Disney cast members go above and beyond, including leadership, including coordinators, and including just regular cast members like me, even on the college program. It it was amazing. just like all the different like little magical moments I got to make. One of my favorite things is I got to like merchantain with like all kinds of different things, but one of my favorite things was the bubble wand. I would make the bubble wands and just like let kids run through bubbles, and it was so much fun. I had a few lightsaber duels with guests in Mission Space because we actually sell some Star Wars merchandise there. Well, at least we did when I was there. So I got to have a few lightsaber duels, and that was a lot of fun. Overall, just going on the DCP, it increased my confidence. It increased my, like, it just was like such a fulfilling experience. Sure, there were some hard times. I got sick a few times, which is why it was helpful that I had my car to drive to the CVS Minute Clinic. So they were able to like give me, I desperately needed antibiotics for my ears. They were so bad. They were like infected. And so they were able to give it to me, and I was able to just drive over there and drive back. Oh, and I became a regular at the Olive Garden over there. I loved it. I went there all the time. And they were just so nice there. I loved it there. I think it was the one on Earlo Bronson. Though there might be multiple because Earlo Bronson is like long. Oh, and if you do drive, I have major beef with I-4. It's like the worst road to drive on. It gets so busy all the time, and it's just like the worst road to drive on. But yeah, I mean, that's just like small things. And then also sometimes there can be like roommate challenges. I don't know about you guys, but I never had a roommate before I did, and I had suite mates as well. And there were like a few challenges I had with just like, you know, like communication and making sure everybody was on the same page and everything. But, you know, a lot of that can just be solved by like communicating with them, which is somewhat hard for me to do because I always think of like even asking someone to do something as like confrontation, and I like dread it because I used to have really bad social anxiety. So I think like part of that's still there. But like besides that, I mean, it was all just like a really wonderful experience, and I loved it so much. Like, even if I faced some challenges while I was down there, whether it was social challenges, mental challenges, homesickness, literal sickness, whatever, I don't regret going, and I miss it, and I miss the people I worked with, and I miss my leaders and my coordinators so incredibly much. And I mean, I would love to go back. I can't wait to go back one day and to like see them again if they're still working in that area, and if not, just to see my home location. I did get deployed near the end of my program to Gateway Gifts and Pin Traders, which are under the Epcot Ball, the two shops on either side. That was like an interesting experience because I hadn't been trained there. I did my best, and also something that was really magical that ended my program so well is I contacted one of my leaders and I asked her if there was any way she could get me back over to my home location for the last part of my program, because I was deployed and I didn't mind being deployed, but I would love to end where I started. And I got to work at Treasures of Xandar one last time, which is like, I loved it. I mean, at one point I had like the sale price memorized for like everything, and I loved it so much. Oh, in fact, let me show you a souvenir I got. I bought this. I got to play with this a lot while I was at Treasures of Xandar. One of the things is we always were like playing with the relics, and that was part of the job, is like showing people how much fun it was and letting them try it out. And I actually got this while it was on, we had this relic sale for like 50% off. I loved using this, so I had to get it. I was like, it's way too iconic and represents so much of my program, and it reminds me of Treasures of Xandar, so I love it. And also, I gotta show you my ears I got. They're so cute. Okay, so these are the ears you get at Final Bow. And it says Epcot 2024. And on the other side, it says World Discovery Merchandise. I got the ears I got for Traditions done as well, the same exact way. Yeah, I love these, and I think they're so cute. Let me put them on. I got a lot of pictures done with these on. If all this sounds like something you'd enjoy, like making magic for guests and getting to come to work with people who genuinely care about what they do and care about the people who come through the doors and want to make sure everybody is safe and happy and has a great experience. A lot of people, it might be their only ever Disney trip, and getting to make that trip magical, like years ago, like cast members made for me, is incredible. Also, another thing I loved doing was pin trading with guests. They got so excited, especially when we got refreshes from our leaders or coordinators with like new pins, especially the cast exclusive ones. I mean, yes, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, but it was really wonderful. I look back at it and I miss it, and I'm just like, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe I got to be there and be part of the magic, even if it wasn't forever. I loved being there, and I'm proud to be a DCP alumni, and I loved merchandise. And if I knew what I knew now, I would go back and do it again. So to answer the question, should you do the DCP? Yes, I believe so. I think it built so much confidence in me. Now, given if you look into it more and there are like aspects of it you don't like or something, like obviously do what's best for you. But in my experience, I don't regret doing it. And if I were to ask the question, my past self and my present self was answering, I would say, yes, you should. I can't answer that question for you exactly, but I hope by sharing my experience, it gives you more insight into like some challenges and also some of the wonderful things I got to experience while I was there. Make the best decision for you. Maybe continue exploring and seeing what other people had to say about it. I know not everybody has a great experience, but I personally did, and if you do it, I hope you have like the best time. And I mean, it's a wonderful experience, looks great on a resume. That's not the main reason I did it. I did it because working at Disney has been my dream. There is an attendance system as well. I won't detail that a whole lot here because it might have changed since I left. Disney is magic. Cast members are magic. And I loved the time I had there. And that's all I can say is my experience. But whatever you decide, you're going to do great things. So have a magical day. Thank you for watching.